Next in our sequence of basic organic macromolecules are proteins. Now, proteins are a very, very diverse group of polymers that, as we'll see shortly, have many different functions. Now, as polymers, they are built of monomers called amino acids, and there are 20 naturally occurring amino acids. Now, the amino acids that we're going to see have four basic parts to them: an amino group, the alpha carbon, a carboxyl functional group, and then this R group. And the letter R stands for a variable. So because there are 20 naturally occurring amino acids, we'll see 20 different R groups making up the different amino acids that we'll put together to build our proteins. So let's take a look at how these proteins are going to be built, again using our dehydration synthesis to form something called peptide bonds. A little hint, anytime you see this word peptide right here, it's referring to something related to a protein. So let's take a look at the basic parts of our amino acid that we just talked about. In the center is our alpha carbon, and then we have the amino functional group with its centrally located nitrogen, the carboxyl group right here, and then this R group, which is a variable. So again, notice that when we link these together during dehydration synthesis, we pull apart our water molecule and we form this special bond right here called a peptide bond. So as we take two amino acids and link them together, we form a dipeptide, and then we can join another amino acid and another and another and another in a line to form a polypeptide. Now, to look at some of the basic functions of proteins, proteins can be enzymes, and these enzymes are catalysts in reactions, and we'll spend a little bit of time in Unit 3 or Unit 2 talking about this. So for instance, some digestive enzymes such as salivary amylase that we mentioned that is helpful in you hydrolyzing starch in your mouth. These enzymes serve as these catalysts for reactions. So structural proteins are there for physical support, and as we'll see, their shape is crucial to their function. But one of the most important structural proteins found in animals is a protein called collagen. Collagen is found forming the shape, giving you the shape of your lips, your eyelids, your eyebrows, and so forth. It's also present and built when your body gets an injury, like from a scar or a cut or something. Collagen often is what holds your body together. And if you notice, if you ever gotten a really bad cut and you have a scar, the scarring that's left behind is from where there was lots of collagen in your skin helping to hold that together. Some proteins are designed to store amino acids, so these are storage proteins. And for instance, one of the most important proteins that we find in milk is a protein called casein, and it's just a huge hodgepodge of different amino acids. As your body needs to build all of these different proteins, it requires lots of amino acids to rearrange them, and so this casein milk protein is really important in young mammals as a source of these amino acids. Some proteins are there to transport things, and they aid in transporting organs or cells. So for instance, one that we will talk about several times this semester is a protein called hemoglobin, which of course is there to help transport oxygen in the red blood cells of your blood. Some proteins are hormones, and these hormones are produced by glands, and they help to coordinate body activities. So for instance, insulin is a hormonal protein that helps your body to regulate its blood sugar level. Some proteins are found on the surface of cells, and they help cells respond to stimuli. So for instance, these receptor proteins like acetylcholine binding sites are found at the junctions of neurons to help the neuroelectrical impulse be received from one cell to the other. Some proteins are there to contract for movement. So these contractile proteins like actin and myosin that we find in our skeletal muscle tissues are important because as they receive the signals, they are allowed to contract and slide past one another and help your muscles to work. And then finally, proteins can be lumped into a category called defense proteins. These are proteins that help us, our bodies, to to be protected against disease. And these, of course, are things like antibodies. So these defense proteins, these antibodies, are built when our body is put into harm's way by being exposed to some sort of a pathogen.